Hello everyone, welcome to YourPedia Education. So today I am going to discuss a very important topic, that is quadratic equations, right? So this is very important topic if you are going for Andhra Pradesh industrial officer post. For this post they are written that syllabus, inside the syllabus they are written mathematics. Inside the mathematics there is a topic that is called as uh, algebra. Inside the algebra we will have a quadratic equation. From the quadratic equation, cubic equation, lots of questions are asked in the previous year exam. This is one question from that one which is asked in the previous exam, that is value of k, for which the quadratic equation given here has equal root r, right? So we have to calculate the value of k. So let us first discuss the learning content of that one, how we can solve the quadratic equation, then you can easily solve that question, right? First thing, what is introduction to quadratic equation? So inside that one, what is a quadratic equation? Generally, if I'm writing an algebraic equation that is in the form of let us take a x to the power n, b x to the power n minus 1, like that, plus c is equals to 0, something like that, in this form. If you are having equation in this form, this is called as polynomial equation, right? And this the highest power of this one, the highest power of x represents its degree, something like that. So what we can say, if you are having a quadratic equation, it means the highest power of x is 2 there, right? If I'm writing an equation in the form of like ax square plus bx plus c is equals to 0, so inside this equation, if you are going to check that how much is the power of x, highest power of x is here, that is 2, so then only we can say this is a quadratic equation. So if you are having a quadratic equation, that will be in the form of this one, ax square plus bx plus c is equals to 0, but provided that the condition if a does not equals to 0. Why it is necessary? Because if your a is going to be 0, then it will become a linear equation, not a quadratic equation. So a value should not be equals to 0, and these a b c are the real number, right? A b c are the real number, right? Now, some examples of the quadratic equation. If I'm going here, some example. This is a quadratic equation. This is also a quadratic equation. This is also a quadratic equation. Inside this one, the highest power of x is x square. Now, if I check this equation here, the highest power of x is 3, then this is not a quadratic equation. This is a cubic equation, right? Another thing is that one, if I'm write equation 5x plus 2, this is again not a quadratic equation. This equation is a linear equation. So how you can differentiate with other relation, other equations? If I'm having an equation that is having the highest power of x is 2, that will be your quadratic equation, right? One more thing, inside this quadratic equation, these are the coefficient a b c. So a is the coefficient of x square, b is the coefficient of x, and c is the coefficient of constant term. You can say c is not coefficient, c is the constant term, right? B is the coefficient of x, a is the coefficient of x square. So these are the coefficient. Now inside this one, if I ask you that you are having a quadratic equation 3x square minus 8x plus 5 equals to 0. Inside this equation, I ask you that what is the coefficient of x square, what is the coefficient of x, what is the constant term there. So the a value is 3, b value is minus 8, c value is 5, right? A value is 3, b value is minus 8, and c value is 5. Now, next thing is meaning of the root of a quadratic equation. After that, whenever you are having a quadratic equation, the next step is what? We have to solve that quadratic equation, right? Let us take, you are having, yeah, similar here. We are having a quadratic equation that is x square minus 5x plus 6 equals to 0. The first thing what I see here, this is a quadratic equation. Now, it is given to you that this quadratic equation has one root at x equals to 2. Right, it is given to you that this quadratic equation has one root at x equals to 2. Then If this quadratic equation has one root at x equals to 2, what is the meaning of that one? That value of x will satisfy this equation. If it means what? If you replace the x equals to 2 into this equation, then it will become 2 square minus 5 into 2 plus 6, that will become the 0. It means the left hand side now become the right hand side. It now become equals to the right hand side. Then what we can say, that 2 is the root of that equation. So root or the solution of a quadratic equation is the value of x that will satisfy the equation, right? That will satisfy the equation. So that meaning, what is the meaning of that one? When you replace that value, when you replace that value of x in the left hand side, then your left hand side become equals to the right hand side, then only we can say that is a root. Again, if I say that you have another root at x equals to 3, you can put it here and check. Yeah, it is also satisfied. So what we can say, 2 and 3 are the root of that quadratic equation, right? Next, factor form of quadratic equation. Now it is given to you that your quadratic equation has two roots, that is alpha and beta. My quadratic equation has two roots, alpha and beta. Then I'm saying that you have to write the equation. You have to write the quadratic equation. Then your quadratic equation will be a times x minus alpha x minus beta is equals to 0. If your a value is that 1, then it is x minus alpha x minus beta equals to 0. See here, let us take you are having a quadratic equation whose roots are 2 and 3. So then how the equation will be? X minus 2 x minus 3 is equals to 0. When you multiply inside, that is become x square minus 3x minus 2x plus 6 equals to 0. That equation is become x square minus 5x plus 6 equals to 0. That is the quadratic equation. So if root is given to you, then how you can write that quadratic equation? This is the way how you can write that quadratic equation back. Now, method of solving the quadratic equation. There are three methods generally which we are having to solve the quadratic equation. The first method is factorization, completing the square, and then the quadratic formula, right? First, we will generally try the first method and the last method inside the MCQs, right? Let us take this one. So you have to given a quadratic equation like this, and we have to find the factor of that one. So in that case, what should we do? If you are trying to find 7x plus 12 equals to 0, right? So now we have to find the factor of 12. So first thing what you have to do, you have to factorize this equation. First take the constant term, make the factor of 12 such that the sum of these factor is become 7. So we have to factorize that 12 as 4 and 3. If you add 4 plus 3, that is become 7. Yeah, so now we got it that this center term, this center 7 can be written as 3 plus 4 times x plus 12 is equals to 0. So what we do, the factor of 12 whose sum is going to be 7. So now what we observe, if I factorize the 12 in terms of 3 and 4, the sum of 3 and 4 is become 7. So the middle 7 can be replaced by 3 plus 4. So now it is become 3x minus 4x plus 12 equals to 0. Then x minus 3 minus 4, x minus 3 equals to 0. So we will go to x minus 4, x minus 3 equals to 0. So we are getting two values of x, that is 4 and 3. So this is the way how you can factorize the given equation by taking the factor, right? Factorization method. Right. Again, the second question, this is 6x squared, 5x and minus 6. In that case, it is 6x squared plus 5x minus 6 equals to 0. So now multiply this first term and with the last term, 6 into 6, that is 36, right? To factorize this 36, so that because this time here is the minus sign, it means we have to factor this 36 such that their difference, You have to check only this sign. If this sign is negative, then the factored value, the difference of these two factors should be equals to 5. So what should we do? We have to factorize this 36 such that their difference, the difference of two factors become 5. So the factor of 36 are 9 into 4. So if you go with the difference, 9 minus 4 is going to be 5. So what should we do now? We can write this 5 as 9 minus 4x minus 6 equals to 0. Do the multiplication inside, 9x minus 4x minus 6 equals to 0. Then we will take the common here, that is 3, 2. 3x is common, then it is become 2x plus 3. Then from this one we can take the 2 common, that is become 2x plus 3 is equals to 0. From that one, what we can do, that 3x minus 2 and 2x plus 3 is going to be 0. When you equate one by one, these two equals to 0 means 3x minus 2 is equals to 0. That means x value is going to be 2 by 3. When you replace 2x plus 3 is equals to 0, then you will go x value minus 3 by 2. So these are the two factors of the given equation. These are the two factors of the given equation. So now I already told you how you can solve these equations by doing the factorization. There are two possible cases I already discussed with you. Solve by completing the square. So what we have doing in that case, see, this is the equation is given to you. Let us take x square plus 6x plus 5 equals to 0. Then what we can say, x square plus 6x is equals to minus 5, right? We can go with minus 5. For that case, what should you do? You have to take this term, this center term, right? This center term, divide that by 2. This is x, this is 6. So divide this 6 by 2, you will get the 3 value. Then what should you do? Add the square of that one. Add the square of that one both the side. So 3 square 9 both the side, minus 5 plus 9. So it is become x plus 3 whole of square is equals to 4, right? So then take the square root of both the side. X plus 3 is equals to plus minus 2. Then x is equals to plus minus 2 minus 3. When you take the different values of x, you will go to the value of minus 1. Right? When you take the negative, this plus sign, that will be minus 1. When you take the negative sign, that is become minus 5. So these are the two roots of this equation which you can solve by taking the what? The squaring method. Another one is solve the given equation, solving the given equation by using the quadratic formula. Quadratic formulas, right? So this is the quadratic formula. This is the quadratic equation. If you want to solve this equation, you can use the quadratic formula. That formula is x is equals to minus b plus minus under root of b square minus 4ac divided by 2a, right? That is the formula. Let us take an example here. Yeah, this is the quadratic equation is given to you, that is 2x square minus 3x minus 2 is equals to 0. If I compare this equation, ax square plus bx plus c is equals to 0, if I compare these two equations, then what we are getting? We are getting the a value equals to 2, b value equals to minus 3 and c value is equals to minus 2. Then we will substitute this value in that quadratic formula. As you substitute this value, you solve this one, you will got this equation. Then it will be 3 plus minus 5 divided by 4. One time you will take the plus sign, that will be 8 by 4. Another time you will take the minus sign, that will be minus 1 by 2. So these are the two roots. So these are all three methods with the help of which one you can calculate the root of any given equation. So there are three methods. First method is factorization. In that one, what we are doing, we will take the factor of constant terms such that their sum or difference going to be equals to the center term, right? Another one is what? Squaring method. In that one, what we are doing, we will take the constant term on the other side. Now the coefficient of x is divided by 2, then take the square of that one, add that square both the side, right? Add the square of that value both the side, then it will become, this side it will become perfect square, and other side it will become a constant value. Taking the square root, that will become plus minus that value, then take that one other side, you will go the 2 root of that quadratic equation. The third method which we discussed here, that is a quadratic formula. So first thing what you have to do, if any quadratic equation is given to you, first you have to compare that quadratic equation with the standard equation, that is ax square plus bx plus c equals to 0. If we compare this equation with the given equation, that is, let us take in the previous case which we are having, which we are having a quadratic equation. When you compare, you will get the a value, b value and c value. Right? On the basis of this a, b and c value, right, we are having a formula that x is equals to minus b plus minus under root of b square minus 4ac divided by 2a, and we will replace the a, b and c value into that one. We will go the, after solving that one, we will go to the x and two different values of x. Now, see, basically previously we are solving that one. Generally, we solve that equation, we are getting the real roots, right? But always the roots are cannot be real. Sometimes the root of that given equation may be imaginary. So we have to find the nature of root, right? Nature of root. The first thing is, we will describe the discriminant, right? Discriminant generally represented by d, and its value is b square minus 4ac. The d value is b square minus 4ac. That is called as discriminant. Whenever we are talking about discriminant, that means d is equals to b square minus 4ac. On the basis of this d value, on the basis of this discriminant value d, we will decide the nature of the root, right? Okay. Now, if your root are real and distinct, if your roots are real and distinct, then yeah, if your roots are real and distinct, then what is happening, your d value is greater than 0, right? If your d value is greater than 0, then what we can say, that roots are real and distinct. Like in this case, if you calculate the d value, that is 1. So what we can say, the given equation will have the roots are real and distinct. The second case, if your d is 0, discrimination is 0, then what we can say, if your d is 0, then the given equation will have real and equal root. It means, always remember one thing, every quadratic equation will have two roots, right? Always have two roots. If it is a cubic equation, that will have the three roots. Now, if you are having a quadratic equation and you calculate the d value, that d value is become 0. So what we can say, the root of that given equation real and equal. It means you calculate the x value, that is 2, another value is also 2 for that equation, right? So what we can say, the roots are real and equal if your d value is 0. If d is less than 0, then your root are going to be imaginary. Root cannot be real, right? Root cannot be real. So these are the three cases. Another thing that is most important, the relation between root and coefficient, right? Now, you are having an equation ax square plus bx plus c. This equation has two roots, that is alpha and beta. Now, what we can say, the if you are having this equation and it is having two roots, alpha and beta, the sum of roots means alpha plus beta is always equals to minus b by a, and alpha into beta is going to be c by a. These are the two things. The sum of root is always equals to minus b by a. The multiplication of root is going to be c by a. Multiplication of root is going to be c by a. Like if you calculate alpha plus beta, that is going to be 7 here. Alpha into beta is going to be 12 here. If you calculate the root, that are 3, 4, you can justify that answer, that our formula is correct. Now, what is that one? It is given to you that alpha and beta are the root. Then we have to find the expression of that given equation, right? Expression of given equation. Sometimes he asks you that alpha plus beta is given to you, alpha into beta is given to you. You have to calculate alpha square plus beta square. So remember this formula like this. Alpha square plus beta square is going to be alpha plus beta whole square minus twice of alpha beta. right? So you can put these values, you will go to 1 upon alpha, 1 upon beta, right? So 1 upon alpha plus 1 upon beta can be written as taking LCM alpha beta upon alpha plus beta. Alpha plus beta is 5, that is 6. You can replace 5 by 6. Now, if alpha and beta is not given to you, it is given to you that sum of root is 5, multiplication of root is 6, then you have to make a quadratic equation. So directly the quadratic equation is going to be x square minus plus minus alpha plus beta into x into alpha beta. So directly you can write the quadratic equation from that one. If root is given, then sum of root, product of root you can calculate, and you will find the quadratic equation for that. See, another thing, if alpha beta is the root is given to you, for the first equation, he says that we are having another equation whose roots are alpha square and beta square, then or sometime 1 upon alpha 1 upon beta, then he can say that find the other equation. So first we will find alpha plus beta, alpha minus beta, alpha plus beta whole square we will find, and accordingly we will go to the alpha plus beta values, right? Alpha square beta square is 9, so we will go to the equation of that one, right? Like this. So you can form the equations from based on that one, right? Yeah, that's all about this quadratic equation which is required for this example. Some practice questions are there, that is a quadratic equation has one variable has a highest power, that will be 2, right? 2 is the highest power. Which of the following is a quadratic equation? Only this one has the highest power of x as 2, so the C will be the answer. In the equation 3x square minus 8x plus 5 equals to 0, the value of b. So you have to compare that equation with ax square plus bx plus c equals to 0. So the b value is going to be minus 8 here, right? Like this. Next is alpha is this equation. Otherwise, the equation become linear or lower degree. Okay. Why must alpha is not equals to 0? If alpha is not equals to 0, then your equation will be converted into linear equation, right? The value of root of this equation, right? The root of this equation. So what we can do? We can do one thing, just replace the 1 here. 1, 5 minus 1, 6. That will be not the root. 2 replace, when you replace the 2 here, that you have 4 options, just replace that value in that equation, you will get the root. Or directly solve this equation by factorization, it up to you. So if you put the 2 value here, then it will satisfy that equation. If the root of quadratic equation 2 and 3, the factor form of that root is 2 minus x, 2 x minus 3, right? X minus 2, x minus 3, like that. The root of x square minus 7x plus 12 equals to 0. So what we can do, we will take the factor of 12, that is 5 and 2, and sum of them, then we will go the root, sorry, 3, 12 root 3 and 4. We already did that in the slides, right? That answer is 3 and 4. We already did that. So this quadratic equation, we already did that also, right? That is minus 3 by 2 and 2 by 3, the roots of that equation. Yeah. Completing the square, take that 5 on the other side. We will solve that one. We will go to the values of that one. That is 9. Right. 3 square 9, like that. The root of this equation are, again you can solve that equation 6. The root of 5 whose sum is 6, that 5 and 1, right? So in that case, that will be going minus 1 and minus 5. That is a B is the answer here. Quadratic formula he is asking, that will be minus b plus minus under root of b square minus 4ac divided by 2. Yes, the root of these equations are again the root. Take the quadratic formula, solve that one, you will go to the A answer for that one. Already I discussed all the concepts here. The discrimination of a quadratic equation D, that will be b square minus 4ac, right? If d is greater than 0, then real root and distinct root are there. Answer is C, right? Next is what? Yes, that's it. So these are the important question which may be asked on that one. And that previous first question which I discussed, now we will solve that one, because that is important question which asked in the previous exam. The value of k for which this quadratic equation has equal roots. When this is having equal root, it means the d value is 0. So means b square minus 4ac equals to 0. We will use that one. b square minus 4ac 0, a, b and c value. We will put the b values there, b square minus 4ac, b square minus 4ac equals to 0, and then solve that equation. We will go to the k values at 0 and 1. We will have the two values for k, 0 and 1. If you know the concept, these are the very easy questions. So if you are going for this industrial officer, right, this mathematics will not take that much time, and the question is not in the depth, right? They are asking only the basic question. And one more thing, all these topics are mostly aligned with jk or gk, oh sorry, your quant and reasoning part, right? Because in quant and reasoning you already studied the hcm, lcm, quadratic equation, right, trigonometry and all of that stuff. The same part is given here, so that will be beneficial for you because both are aligned together. And one more thing, if you want to prepare for this examination, YourPedia is already is going to launch the module for that one. You can join there, where we will cover all these topics which is mentioned in the syllabus in detail, and we are already provide you the slides like this is made like this one, right? So that there is no need to write everything. But one more thing, if you want to crack this exam, right, you have to do the practice, right? As much as you do the practice, you will get the proficiency in that one, right? You will get perfect to solve the questions, right? You will see one more thing, whenever these type of exam come, right, where the difficulty level is not that much high, but the cutoff is little going little bit up, for that one you have to be work hard, right? You have to solve the questions as much as possible, so that the chance of making mistake is going less in the exam, right? So if you want to prepare, you can join YourPedia. Thank you.